This is where we need a
I'm
theme
clear.
song. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hangin' and Sangin'. I'm Kelly McCartney from the Bluegrass situation. With me today at Hillbilly Central, Lilly Hiatt.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
You're one of the few artists that I had like requests for, like get her on your show.
Well, I'm honored and
Yeah.
I'm excited to be
So
here.
shout out to Sarah from Miss Chatelaine.
Oh,
That's,
that was who
yeah,
requested. Sarah, thank
Sarah.
you.
Yeah, she
Touched.
has a lot of Twitter followers, so I felt like it was the right thing to do to get
Yeah.
you on. And I
No.
like hanging with you, so
No, totally.
win-win.
Thank you. I like hanging with you.
Okay, Trinity Lane, your record came out last summer. Let's talk about songwriting because I feel like this record is this songwriting as a way to understand yourself, right? The record's
Yes.
kind of overflowing with that.
Yes. It certain. Yeah, it is that. It would definitely.
How much easier is it for you to dissect and process whatever you're going through writing versus talking it out or some other form?
Well, I mean, I think both are useful, but sometimes with writing, I think because you're alone, or I'm alone when I write, sometimes things will come out that maybe are a little buried down or that you didn't know were there, and
Yeah,
you're like, all right. And so that's kind of the fun part about that. It's
yeah,
kind of like the guard is really down there.
yeah. How
So
often does something come through that you just didn't even necessarily know was there, and then like afterward you're like, oh, huh, okay, that's how I feel about that.
yeah, I mean that happens a lot. It happened the other day, like when I was just playing around, and you're sometimes it's a little startling, and sometimes it's really, usually relieving. But sometimes you're like, oh gosh, So,
Yeah,
it happens a lot.
yeah. I love it. It's like sometimes when I got stuff swirling around, just that just happening recently too. It's just like the only way I can think to express it is to just kind of start writing it in a weird free form poem, whatever kind of thing, because
Yeah,
the words don't necessarily even have to make sense if someone else were to read it,
yeah,
but it can express. And then when you add on a melody, which I don't do because I'm not a songwriter, then that enhances it that much further because the music can take it in a whole other direction. Yeah.
yeah, totally. It's yeah, it's an exciting thing to do, and I think it's a useful tool to write things down for anyone really, because sometimes you really don't understand things when they're just swirling around in your head, and maybe you don't understand them on paper, but it's a document of that moment and how you were perceiving it then, and if that changes later, it may, but
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. We were before we started show. We were talking about our mutual friend Amanda Shires.
Yes.
She recently challenged me. She owes me breakfast, by the way. She uses an app called Flow State, where in you set a timer for either 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, and you just write. And if you stop before the timer, if you stop for 5 seconds before your time ends, it erases everything you did. So
Yeah.
you have to
Wow.
keep going.
You just go.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
like the first time I did it, I was about 9 seconds left out of the whole thing, and I saw a typo that I wanted to go back and fix, and I was like, "Whoop, goodbye." Then
Yeah.
it's like a blank cursor. It's
And
like,
it's like you just lost it. Well,
yeah,
that's really cool, and I'm a big fan of the let it flow method myself. And you can always go back and edit, but
yeah,
sometimes what comes out is what needs to.
yeah,
And Amanda's a cool writer, and I think something she is a true writer, and
mm-hmm,
she disciplines herself even though it comes from her heart, and I think there's a lot to be said for that too.
yeah.
Just taking the time to freestyle,
Free flow,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to define what your job is as a songwriter, like what would you say it is in terms of like the parameters or responsibilities?
That's a good question. And I've heard a couple of writers that I admire kind of talk about what they think that responsibility is. And I try not to take it too seriously as in, I have a real something to say that you need to hear.
Right.
But I do think if you have a way with words and you have a way of a strong suit in one way or another, whether it's painting a picture or being introspective, then maybe, the there is a service in that of,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with people and being like, well, you may maybe the things I write about are really mundane. It's like breakups and stuff that
Life.
everyone deals with.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
pretty simple stuff, but if you can just kind of nuance it in a way that strikes a chord with others, it can be powerful, and it's powerful for me to share that stuff with other people. So
Yeah. Yeah. Have you figured out ways for yourself to block out the outside opinions and trends and not let them sway you and just stick to this is my truth and this is what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it?
yeah, I have, and I've gotten better as I've gotten older and more confident in myself. But I mean, it's still, of course you care what people think, but I care more about making music that I feel good about, whatever that means,
Yeah.
So it's not to pander to any one way or another, or
Right.
any group. Um, Sometimes you just have to tune it out, and nobody really expects that much from you. I think we get more in our heads than you know what I mean,
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
just write stuff, whatever. Like,
If it lands, it lands.
yeah, exactly. It's like it's fulfilling to write things. So.
Yeah. What? How does accountability play into things for you in terms of not just your actions but also intentions for yourself and even in as much as we can hold anybody else accountable for anything,
Yeah,
others.
I think it's important. Like, I think being as kind of accountable as you can and some self awareness and some honesty are very valuable things to me. That being said, nobody's perfect, and everyone has their little sneaky things they do that maybe aren't, horrible things. But everyone deserves a little
A little compassion.
mischief,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
forgiveness or whatever. But I do try to just be honest mostly with myself so that I can treat other people the way that I want.
Right. Wait,
And
are you living by the golden rule or something over
right,
there?
exactly. It's like just simple stuff. So, but and if I mess up, and I mess up all the time because I'm a human. At least knowing how to say like I'm sorry, but also knowing not how to not like beat yourself up for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's okay,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And yeah, and that there is a fine line there between holding yourself accountable and beating the crap out of yourself.
yeah, that's really counterproductive because you just feel guiltier, and that makes you want to do worse.
Yeah.
So it's best just to like be
Yeah.
gentle to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get a little granular on your song Different, I guess. Because it's a fascinating piece to me for a number of reasons. And Amanda, among others, say it's one of the best songs they've ever heard.
That's nice.
But structurally on that, it starts out like, oh, well, this is just kind of cruising along, and then it just sort of flails a little bit, and then it goes back.
Yeah.
You just like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much the rules matter to you?
They don't really. I mean,
Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10.
maybe we'll give them a 1 or 2. Like
Okay.
sometimes I'm like, you can't do that, but then I'm like, oh yes, you can. You can do. But and that song was actually kind of like the beginning of a foray into. It's funny because I think somewhere in the back of my head I followed not one particular structure, but I disciplined myself with getting a good form for a song.
Right.
And I was just like, you can do whatever you want in the song. You can say whatever you want, and
You
that
don't
should
have
be
to have a chorus. You don't
yeah,
have to have a bridge.
exactly. Because I think of some of my favorite songs, they don't have those things,
Yeah.
or they're not perfect, whatever that means. But so that one was fun to it just kind of spilled out, and I was like, I'm not changing a thing.
Take that, world. Well, then, and lyrically too, it's raw and real, but it's still it's painted with poetry. So it's like I love the line. I don't have to have you to know what this is.
Thank you.
Because in the end, it's not, it's about how we're responding to something, and it's often not about that, where there's a person or a situation or whatever. It's what's going on inside of us. So
Yeah.
that doesn't even have to be there for this work to be going on.
Right. No, it's true. And I think when we love things, we want to possess them a lot of the time. But then you realize,
funny that, hey?
yeah, it is funny, and it's not quite how that. Ultimately, it's not how it works, So, but I don't know. Every love is different.
Yeah, I feel like there's that other line about no one's really been at their best. That line.
Yeah.
And one of my life's mottos for the past few years has been like trying to be my best in any given moment, so that then it's like I don't have to have remorse or regret or kind of second guess myself. It's like I know if I made the best choice. And what's funny is that like that sort of echoed in that too. Even though you say we're not at our best, that sentiment is still in there. That was fascinating to me.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your insight into that song. It's cool hearing what people take from things, and yeah, at your best. I don't know. Yeah.
Which in any given moment is here or here.
I know, but I know what you mean, where it's like you just want to know you gave it what you had,
Exactly,
so.
Exactly. Another song on there about David Bowie.
Yeah.
The night we lost David Bowie. And I know Tom Petty meant a whole lot to you. How's that feel for an artist in particular to be losing your heroes?
It's trippy and sad and hard, and the kind of thing that you knew would happen one day, but you're like, I didn't think it happened now.
Yeah.
And I think it just forces all of us to kind of look at our mortality a little more, especially as artists, where it's like, all right, we lost Bowie, we lost Petty. Are you kidding me? I just saw him this summer.
Yeah.
He's like of my dad's generation, and that is just very intense and very sobering in whatever way, where you're just like,
I was gonna
whoa.
say, that's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah,
sobering.
But you know what I mean, where
Yeah.
it's just like, you're like, holy crap, like, this is what happens. People die. Even Tom Petty dies.
Yeah.
And, it's a loss, and I haven't even really processed those things. I don't know about you, but it's like, I don't know, because they live eternally in their music, which is the beauty of it,
Yeah, I'm always surprised by which ones hit me harder. Like, for whatever reason, I was hit really hard by Whitney Houston and George Michael.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
More so than Petty or even Prince. And I was like, it was fascinating to me.
Prince was devastating, but and that I didn't see coming. It was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
But the impact of Bowie, it's like that to me was like the beginning of the fall of some legends, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And Whitney Houston's really sad. She was Dolores from the Cranberries.
Yeah.
That about made me break down in the airport. But young woman, so, but it happens. So
happens. Circle of life.
Yeah.
Circle of song.
Yeah.
Sing us something.
I'll sing a song. I'm gonna try to hit the high notes here.
All right. You're gonna do different, I guess.
Yeah, I'll sing different. I guess we'll see what happens.
Without the F-bomb.
Yes.
Since
Thank you for
we're
that.
also on the radio.
Thank you for the reminder.
I got you, buddy.
Because it would have been coming, had you not.
Lilly Hiatt minus an F-bomb. Here she goes.
There's more to our hearts than lost time. And I don't have to have you to know what this is, but I'll never forget our first kiss. I wanted to leave here with you. You do what you gotta do. And if it's not Newport, I'll be right here. Love doesn't disappear. My friends say stay away. You know I obsess. No one's really been at their best. This is different. I just love you more than anyone I ever had. This is different. I just love you more than anyone I ever had. I guess. I had a plan to make me look tough.
Yeah. Lilly Hiatt. Different, I guess. Off
Different.
Trinity Lane. Thank you for indulging me.
Thank you for letting me play that really heavy song in the middle of the day.
I needed it. I'm sure some other people needed it.
I hope so.
Gelman, did you need it? Oh, yeah. Cool.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, we are now going to do the enlightening round.
Awesome.
Since the record is called Trinity Lane, which, for those not in the know, is a street in East Nashville, where you live, I'm going to list things in East Nashville. You tell me what milieus of things I'm going to list. You tell me what your favorite is.
Okay, fun.
Your favorite music shop on the east side.
East Side, favorite music shop, Fanny's.
Yeah.
The bomb.
That's
Love it.
Those are people.
Yeah, they're the bomb.
Yeah. Shout out Fanny's House of Music.
Love you, Fanny's.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Do Pamela? Well, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Your favorite vintage store?
Ooh, OMG. I always have a great time in OMG.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also a huge Goodwill, Madison Goodwill fan.
Yeah.
So I call that vintage too.
Sure, why not?
There's so many good ones. I want to say like 50, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll say OMG.
Okay. Deal. What's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, oh, it closed. It's Caesar's on Gallatin Pike. It's like it was a little Mediterranean, falafel place, and they were great. And they raised all this money to get their parents back to wherever they needed to go back to, and shut down. So it's a beautiful story, but that was my fave.
Oh,
And now I need a new one.
now you're foodless.
Yeah,
That's
now
a
I'm
sad
starving.
story. Gosh. Your favorite, place in nature over there?
Ooh, I'm a huge Shelby Bottoms fan. I
Got a
go there
feeling.
as much as I can, and I freaking love that place.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a particular? Well, maybe we shouldn't give out your particular spot. People
Well,
will come stalk you.
It's not that special because a lot of people, it's very special, but it's not that secret. It's the Nature Center, where the Nature Center is at Shelby.
yeah.
It's
That's
my
your
jam.
hang?
I get lost there all around that greenway.
Okay. Favorite taco joint?
El Jalisciense is my favorite little
Okay.
taco place. Love it.
Gelman agrees.
Love it. Those who know. So
Okay. I'm
with
gonna
you.
find out now.
it's great.
Last one, because I know. Favorite coffee hang?
Favorite coffee hang on the east side?
Yeah, gotta go east side.
This is tough because there are two and they tie.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I have to explain. Dose is just lovely. The East Side Dose is the bomb. You can
Yeah.
hang out there, get waited on. They're really cool.
Yeah.
But Sip is also, that's my on-the-go coffee spot, Sip.
Okay. Okay.
But my hangout spot is Dose. So,
Okay.
they're neck and neck.
All right. No post east, huh? It's okay.
I like the Post East too. See, there's so many great.
There are lots of little nooks.
As much as I don't want them to tear my neighborhood up,
Yeah.
off Dickerson Pike, I would love a coffee shop there.
Over there,
I'm
yeah.
like, please.
Yeah.
But anyway, Yeah, Sip's close to me too.
Right.
Dose, I get there easy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm about to give away my address. So
Don't.
better be chill.
I'll send you a postcard. That's an inside joke. Okay, that's it. Good travel tips for the East Side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second song.
Second song.
What you want to play?
Let's see. I'm going to play. You know what?
What?
I think I'll play Not What I Intended.
Okay.
I think I'll just play All Kinds of People.
Right on.
It's one I don't play that often on its own.
Cool.
Spent all morning out in Franklin. You're fixing my car. I was thinking of you. You weren't ready yet, bent over backwards, busted my knees. What else could I do? Spent a lot of time with all kinds of people. But all kinds of people won't care for your heart. And I love you like you love the ocean. That's where you're going, and it's ripped me apart. This house has spirits, I always knew it. That sale sign doesn't fool me at all. Remember listening to Lonnie Johnson, and I told you you love it. Our names on the wall. Spent a lot of time with all kinds of people. But all kinds of people won't care for your heart. And I love you like you love the ocean. That's where you're going, and it's ripped me apart. Corner house, don't go by it. When I drive to the grocery, I take the back way. And I miss you, fresh off the boat, eyes big as whole notes with so much to say. Spent a lot of time with all kinds of people. But all kinds of people won't care for your heart. And I love you like you love the ocean. That's where you're going, and it's ripped me apart.
There it is. Lilly Hiatt, all kinds of people, off Trinity
kinds.
Lane. That's life, living off Trinity Lane.
It is. Yeah, it is. I won't even go into where Trinity
No.
Lane's at these days.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys.
You touring off and on this year? What's happening?
It's a very, very busy year.
Yeah.
Excited, and I will hardly be home. But I'll probably be in cities all over.
So don't go trying to find her at Shelby Bottoms. She
So-
won't be there.
I know, but I might in the next few weeks. So
All right, cool. Hopefully it won't rain you out
I
continuously.
know. Well, today's all right.
Nice.
You know.
Today's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, next week we're doing double show next week. 1:30 Ani DeFranco.
ooh,
Not
that's
bad.
cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Ani DeFranco is cool.
She's badass.
She is.
She was before we even had if it wasn't even named Hangin' Sangin', we were just like, hey, let's do a Facebook Live something with an iPhone. And we're like, hey, Ani's in town. Will she do it? She said yes.
That's
so she was
cool.
my first ever guest. And now I'm getting her back
And here
to
she
do a
comes
proper.
again. That's
She must have
awesome.
liked it okay.
Cool. Well, you're a great interviewer.
Hey, thanks, man.
You're fun to hang.
Appreciate that. You're a fun sang.
Thanks.
See how it works?
That was good.
Yeah. See? Yeah, so Ani's at 1:30, Grantley Phillips at 2:30. Then the week after that, another double day. It's crazy. 1:30, Bela Fleck and Abigail Washburn.
Ooh,
2:30, I'm with her.
cool.
I know.
Y'all have some really fun guests coming in.
I know. And then I got, we have Valerie June.
Ooh, I love her. I love her so much. I'm a big fan.
I'm going to see if I can get her to marry me.
I want her to marry me.
Okay. Well,
I'm like, she's amazing.
Open. Yeah. Maybe we could tag team. You're gone a lot. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can
my
figure it
boyfriend
out.
would be cool if
We
she
can figure
married
something
it.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So Valerie, and then Amber Rubarth, Jerry Douglas.
Cool.
I know. Parker Millsap in April, and Caitlin Canty, to say her, and then Ashley Monroe just announced her record today. We already got her booked for May 4th.
Heck yeah.
Cheers
That's
to that.
exciting.
I know, it's good.
Some girls doing some really cool stuff. Guys too, but
Yeah, more girls.
girls are rocking it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
So
it is. It's very exciting. I'm glad you're one of them.
thank you. I'm trying to be, trying to keep up.
Good deal. Okay, so we'll see you next week at 1:30 with Ani DeFranco. Until then, over and out from Hillbilly Central.